Let's go.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of our Dynasty Sophomore Spotlight Series here at Masters Fantasy Football, the place for Dynasty Fantasy Football and all things fantasy football. Come be a part of the family. We got plenty of startups starting. We got redraft leagues. We're breaking out super flex leagues and some best ball leagues too. So
all the good stuff.
Really, just kind of your total package when it comes to fantasy football.
I like that. Yeah, corner in the market on fantasy football
and podcasts too. So you know, really just a one-stop do it all.
Podcast, yeah. Anything you want, fantasy football. We got it all.
Yeah. So, next up on our sophomore spotlight series list is none other than Clyde Edwards-Helaire, one of the Doc's favorite players.
My God.
I like him a lot, too. He was going to the 1.1 a ton last year. Didn't quite live up to expectations his rookie years. I got his stats down here somewhere. About 803 yards on 181 carries, only 4 touchdowns, and then... he was a guy we expected to have a ton of receptions. He did have 50. Oh, that's targets. Only 36 receptions off 54 targets. He was a guy we thought easily could, get over 70 receptions.
Yeah.
So only 36. But yeah, that was just in 13 games. So didn't get quite that full season. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, how are you feeling about after his rookie year?
Well, after his rookie year, I didn't feel great because I had a lot of Clyde shares, and I, famously, I'm sure all famously said he would finish as the number 1 overall running back. That was clearly not the case. I believe he finished 22nd. So a little bit off the pace. But, I do feel like things got a little off the rails for the Chiefs in the playoffs there with a lot of injuries. I know Clyde himself was banged up. They had a lot of offensive line injuries. So I'm going to kind of keep that in mind. And I feel like, and I mentioned this on our Hot Take show as well, but I feel like, Andy Reid has always valued the running back position and has utilized it quite a bit, and I feel like he's going to get back to that, whereas they were throwing the ball like every play in the playoffs. I feel like they're going to get back to running the ball, using the running back in a variety of ways, because the whole reason they drafted him in the first round was because, Andy Reid thought, hey, this is Brian Westbrook 2.0. Like, this is the second coming. So the fact that you only gave him 50 targets is ridiculous. So I expect those numbers to go up, and again, I'll say, too, he had... he was getting goal line work last year. It was just more like a lack of offensive line talent, it seemed like, sometimes. So I feel like now they've revamped the O-line a little bit. I think Clyde's still going to get those goal line opportunities. And, honestly, the yardage over 13 games is not that bad. So, I think that's going to go up as well. So I think overall, Clyde's just trending in the right direction. And it's a perfect time, honestly, because he's getting drafted way behind some of these other guys that I think he'll outperform this year. So it's a great opportunity to go after Clyde, I would say, in your drafts.
Yeah, I 100% agree. In Dynasty, I think he's a great buy low. Yeah, definitely. His rookie year did not live up to expectations, and so some people are selling like they always do a little too early in Dynasty. Yeah. So one of the things I love about Dynasty football is, being able to get players on a discount after people get impatient after just 1 year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, still feeling really good about Clyde for all the reasons you mentioned. Looking more so at this coming season, I know you kind of hit on that some. How you feeling just for next year only, forgetting the years after that?
I just think in general he's going to get more everything, more yards, more touches, more targets, anything. I think all of his numbers are going to go up a little bit, and I think we'll see more of what we were, expecting to see in his first year in that Chiefs offense. But I feel really good, and obviously, if all of his numbers are going to go up in my head, then I should feel good. So.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I think, both in Dynasty and redraft, we're going to expect, a lot better than what we saw his rookie year. Yeah, the thing I love, too, is they really started to invest in the interior offensive line. Obviously they did let Mitchell Schwartz go and have had some offensive tackle issues. But, yeah, I think interior O-line signals to me that they're really trying to run the ball a little more this year.
Yeah.
So feel good about that.
Yeah, definitely revamped the O-line.
Yeah.
Got younger and possibly better. You can make the argument.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that is for sure. Jerick McKinnon entered for competition, but obviously Damian Williams, who had opted out the year before, he's now gone. Still a couple of similar names like Darrell Williams, I think, still hanging around, but nobody too threatening. And Le'Veon Bell gone as well. So So yeah, no real competition.
Yeah.
For him. It's his show. It should be. We expect him to take the reins and produce a lot more.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's play the game where we're gonna do some dynasty trades. Who would you rather have? And then we'll get into redraft.
Sure.
Picking before or after some guys. So dynasty value.
Okay. Yeah.
Before or after Aaron Jones.
I think I'd take him over Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and a lot of that's more like Aaron Jones' situation with everything going on in Green Bay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would take him over Aaron Jones at this point. Yes.
You've got Nick Chubb. Somebody offers you Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Nick Chubb. You pull the trigger.
Oh man, that's tough. I feel like Nick Chubb's. It's tough because as a Browns fan, I like him and I like him anyway. Like it's tough for me because I feel like I'm biased on him.
Yeah.
But
I'd rather have Clyde in dynasty than
I think
Chubb.
I would. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As great as I think Nick Chubb is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think the longevity-wise and the receiving upside for Clyde is enough to make me say yes. I want
What
Clyde.
about Dalvin Cook?
I mean, I said no for JT. I'm gonna say no for Clyde.
I was testing there. I was gonna call you out if you flipped
Yeah.
it. Now that you can't like Clyde more than JT, but yeah. I remembered you said Dalvin on that last show we did, so I was gonna kind of hold you to that if you flipped.
I think that's like the threshold,
Right, and I agree.
The
I
truly
think,
elite guys, I can't quite pull the trigger yet with any of those second-year guys.
Right, and I think I would rather have Dalvin. I think I may have went JT on that one.
I think
another
did.
show, but I think for me that.
You got mad at me that I went with Dalvin.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing. But yeah, one other name we threw out on the last one, Saquon Barkley.
I think I'd take Saquon.
And I'd go Saquon as well.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah.
A little more so than the JT one.
And I think I asked you this on the JT one, but JT or Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, I personally I probably like Clyde more, but I think right now you'd be crazy to not take JT over Clyde.
Yeah,
that's just kind of where it is right now.
Yeah, to me it's a 1A and a 1B situation. For me, JT's my 1A. I think for the doc, his 1A's Clyde, but like we're super close on both. I think just a slight preference difference there. All right, but so let's go redraft now. Aaron Jones. I know I said it for dynasty, but redraft.
I'll take Clyde.
All right, I like it. I think I would too, actually. Ezekiel Elliott.
I'll take Zeke. I took Zeke over JT as well.
I think I might go Clyde. I don't know.
I wouldn't be shocked, but that would, and especially considering like Clyde's getting drafted around. Like I know in that silver redraft we did, I think he was. Oh, actually, I still have it. Clyde actually went early in that 2.6, but I think his ADP is like running back 18, I believe. So a little bit further down than where he was drafted in the silver, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll do better than. Some of those guys.
What about Najee Harris?
That's tough.
It is tough. I don't ask you the easy ones. Think you're just gonna show up? I'm just gonna toss you softballs?
I'll take Clyde, and I know I took Najee over JT.
Yeah,
but this is redraft, so
yeah. I think I'll go Najee by a hair, but really like both, and I expect their numbers to be similar actually. Yeah, a lot of receptions for both.
Yeah, and I'll just preface this by saying,
Clyde.
If Clyde doesn't have more than like 50 receptions this year, I'm gonna start getting really worried. So, and at that point, I might cut ties.
I was saying, this is my true worry with Clyde in Dynasty and redraft. I think the receptions may never be as good as they should because Mahomes is, so good and aggressive at throwing downfield. Like he just doesn't look for the check down, and it's a blessing and a curse for fantasy because it can be great for some things. But yeah, I just don't know if he might never be a 70 type reception guy because even though he should be, and on most offenses he absolutely would be, Mahomes might not check it down 70 times in a year.
Yeah, it's a shame Alex Smith still isn't the Chiefs quarterback because I know Clyde be like rocking 100 receptions a year.
Or if
he'd get like 150 targets.
Right. If you could rewind it 3 years in a time machine and you put Clyde in instead of Kamara, I mean, Drew Brees would be loving Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Absolutely.
But yeah, my biggest fear is kind of just that Mahomes is so aggressive that he's just not.
That's the frustrating part too, is because there's no part of Clyde Edwards-Helaire's game that I'm worried about. It's all 100% just the way the Chiefs trended last season. They just progressively phased out running the ball and utilizing the running back, and that's worrisome. So I'm hoping they go back to the way they used to do things. But again, there is that worry, especially with Mahomes, just being able to huck it 80 yards downfield and see if something will happen.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. You got anything else on Clyde? I'm
trying to think of other redraft guys.
Yeah.
I would ask you Derrick Henry, but I think
redraft. I was gonna say, so even though on our bold predictions hot take show, depending on what order these drop in, I have a hot take bold prediction where Derrick Henry falls outside the RB1 range, but that's not to say he's going to for sure. It's just a bold prediction.
Just take.
Yeah, it's just a bold prediction.
Yeah,
It's not really.
Out.
Yeah, so I think I'd still go Derrick Henry.
Okay.
But I could definitely see a scenario absolutely where Clyde outproduces him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we're playing the probabilities game, and I think it's more probable that Derrick Henry does not fall out of the top 12 in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if we were making odds in Vegas right now, the odds of Derrick Henry outscoring Clyde would be pretty big, I would say. But I think it's possible. And I think it'll be closer than the experts think.
Agreed. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about, young Clyde?
That's all I got.
All right. That's all I have as well. So as always, as Al mentioned, the premier destination for fantasy football, Dynasty Redraft. We're trying out some Superflex and best ball leagues. So, I mean, hey, we're cornering the market on fantasy football. We've got it all. And, we're pretty good at what we do here. So come join the family, be a part of that Masters family, and enjoy this ride with us here. And as always, leave some comments in the chat. Oh, Clyde's numbers.
Oh, yeah.
But also, like the video, as always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you haven't, what are you doing? I mean, yeah, seriously, what are you doing? Like, subscribe to the channel right now as Alex starts to come up with numbers for Clyde. I'll say 1,080 yards rushing, 8 rushing touchdowns, 78 receptions for, I don't want to give too many yards, but then that would be really short. 78 receptions, 803 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So mark those down. That's everything.
So I'm gonna go.
I don't even know if those make sense.
Yeah.
If you add them up, it could very well be like a record.
I was kind of watching Kamara's stat line as you were saying that, and it kind of made sense.
Okay.
It was a Kamara-like stat line.
Okay.
So mine, I'm gonna go 200 carries, which goes out to about 940 yards in my yards per carry guess. So 940 rushing yards.
Okay.
Let's say maybe only like 6 or 7 rushing TDs, but then like 65 receptions, 735 receiving yards, and another 5 receiving TDs.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of on that same page there. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Yeah. I got faith in our guy Clyde.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you have it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, big bounce back year 2.
Yep.
And we'll be throwing some more sophomore spotlights at you. Plenty of other sophomores from last year, obviously. Great class, so we'll get to those guys. And, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bang, pow, boom.